Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 52 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Gage, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be back. I was gone last week, so thanks for holding it down for episode number 51. But
Yeah, it was
go
fun.
ahead.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, I watched the replay. You did
Actually,
good.
I quite
People seem to
enjoyed it.
really enjoy it. But for anyone new here, we do these live streams every single week, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and usually there's two of us. If you caught it last week, it was just Dan, but usually there's two of us. And every single stream, we mention our three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. So let's get things started. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Harks, nice to see you here. Shar, Dean, Michael, of course. It's nice to see all the same familiar faces here every Sunday. It's very cool. Dave, yes, thanks for joining us here in 2020. Yeah, this is the first 2020 stream. We're almost at a full year of town halls. Hey, this is episode number 52. Next week it'll officially be a full year, I believe. I think the first one was like January. Sorry, go ahead.
This would kind of be 52 weeks. I'd count it.
I think, yeah, maybe it counts. We'll call this is the anniversary stream, I guess. I don't know what the exact date was of the first one. I think it was January. I don't remember. It was a bit after this, but I don't remember when exactly. But yeah, if you guys have any topics you'd like us to cover this week, let us know, and we'd be happy to do our best to get to them. We have a few topics and questions we'd like to ask you. The first one was for those of you who podcast, where are you hosting that podcast? Are you using something like Libsyn or Anchor or Blueberry? We'd be curious. What's the most common one that you guys are using? Because we're considering potentially making it easier for people to export audio files onto those hosts. So let us know. The other question is if anyone, last week we asked if anyone was using Slack, and the answer was resounding no. There's a few yeses, but mostly no's. Another one we were curious is if any of you use Shopify or something similar to sell your products. We are curious for a variety of reasons. Gadget, thanks for tuning in. Beauty Bubble, nice to see you here. Saying hi from Brazil. It's nice to have you from Brazil. We have lots of Brazilians using StreamYard, which is very cool. I'm having to, or not me, but the person running our support is having to use Google Translate pretty frequently for Portuguese, which is cool. Ross, nice to see you here. We'll have an announcement about Ross is doing a show. Actually, I'll post up a few times during the stream, so I'll just post one up now. Ross is doing a show on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. He'll be live from CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show, if I remember correctly. He'll be live with Rob Greenlee from Libsyn doing some coverage, so be sure to tune in to that. It'll be live on the StreamYard Facebook page and YouTube, or I'm not sure if it'll be live on YouTube. It'll definitely be on the Facebook page and some of the other social channels, that Ross goes live to. So make sure you check that out. Let's see what else we have here. Manny, happy 2020 to you in Mexico as well. Neil says, nice opening card. Yeah, I noticed Facebook recently. I don't think we talked about this yet, Dan, but Facebook I think made a change to scheduled posts that I discovered today. Actually, that they're in the middle of changing something. It looks completely different now. If you go like view on Facebook, the scheduled post, at least for pages, looks drastically different, which is
Interesting.
It'd be nice to get more of a heads up. It's always a bit concerning. It's like, this does not look familiar at all.
Yeah, especially because we put a lot of effort into like making sure that, the image size we ask for and everything's going to look good for everybody. So like we customize that on our end to make sure, because we know what it's going to look like on Facebook. So yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah, on mobile, it looks the same as always. So like if you go to the scheduled post on mobile, you see the typical thumbnail and everything. But I've noticed on desktop, it's like, I'm pretty sure they're in the middle of changing it because it's like a black screen and then like a tiny post. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they're making some changes, it seems like. Jim, thanks for tuning in.
On top of it.
Yeah, for sure. Pete, thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see if anyone's answered any of these questions. Dinar, thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Doing it with Jason's on Twitter. Nice to have a Twitter viewer.
All right.
Carol says lots of people in the crafting world use Shopify. Yes, absolutely. We do have quite a few crafters using StreamYard, and yeah, that does make sense. I know Shopify is big for that.
Yeah.
Michael says, I think Dan found out that co-hosting would be a great feature, although he did a great job. Yeah, lots of people want co-hosting.
I appreciate that.
Neil says he hit the limit of 25 banners today. Just curious why the limit. There just had to be some kind of limit, and we mostly just put it up there to see how many people would hit it, to see what the right number was, Neil. So there's not 25 just seemed like a reasonable number, and that's why we selected it. But if enough people think they need more, we're open to it. Is there anything else you want to add there, Dan, that I'm missing?
No, that's pretty much it. Like we just like you said, it's a good point, and you might not think about this, but yeah, there kind of has to be a limit on everything, like some kind of limit, just because like your whole page will get slowed down. Like we're always trying to make the product in such a way where you don't have to know anything about products and making them work quickly, because we kind of handle that. So yeah, like, and I just mean like if the limit, if we allowed you to upload 100,000 of them, your page would run incredibly slow. So like,
Right.
there has to be some kind of limit. So yeah, we just figured 25 would be more than most people would ever need. But yeah, we do check like, okay, how many people are actually running into that, and same with every other limit. And then yeah, we do up them over time. So it's good to know you ran into it. We might just increase that one then.
Mediocre tutorials and reviews. Like the honesty of the name. Hey there, basic plan enrollee here. Any thought about incorporating a poll tool? I'd love to have it for the streams I do. We're certainly open to it. I'm surprised how infrequently people request it. But yeah, it's like you'd think it would be a more common one to come up. But yeah, we're definitely open to it. And if it's important to people, it will raise on the priority list. Russ says he uses Spreaker for podcasting. Very cool. Beauty Bubble is an Anchor user, not a Slack user, and uses Shopify for research purposes, apparently. And then, yeah, thanks, Ross. Ross posted the link there for anyone that's interested in catching that show. Ross uses Libsyn, Spreaker, and Simplecast.
Interesting.
Charlie says, guys, it's amazing how you are game changers for streamers. Thanks. Happy 2020. That's really kind, Charlie. We appreciate that. And yeah, that's what we go for. We're trying to want to make streaming better every year is the goal. So hopefully in 2020 we can continue raising the bar and continue creating the best experience possible. Sounds like Dave agrees that you did well, Dan. Very good.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
AOS Coach uses Podbean. MS Buffy says, how far StreamYard has come in a year. Yeah, we'll be, I think I'll depending on, there's a few other things we're waiting on, but I'll be making a post for like a 2019 review post that covers all the features we added in 2019. It's pretty impressive. And I think it'll be cool for newer users who haven't been along the whole time to see like everything that actually was added in 2019. One thing that's an interesting one that probably people don't know about is in the beginning of 2019, there was no mobile support at all. So you couldn't even join as a guest on mobile. So that actually did happen in 2019.
A lot of stuff. Big year.
Absolutely. Natural uses Anchor, another Spreaker user for information show. I'll go ahead and ask another one of our questions here. So if you notice behind me, you can see that I've got a green screen set up. So we're actually testing and working on it, and hopefully adding a feature for that. We're working through everything there. So we had a couple questions there. One was, what would you like the default image to be? There's a couple we're testing out. One is just a brick wall, not too exciting. It does look pretty good when you're in front of it, and it's not just a brick wall, but I think it's a nice background. And then the other one that we have right now as a default is basically a studio apartment, much nicer and cleaner than my own studio apartment. It's a nice looking, maybe it's a condo, whatever it is. It looks tidy. So I think it'd be cool to have like a StreamYard user provide the image. So if any of you have a cool image that you'd like us to use as the default, or maybe something you made on your own, it'd be pretty cool. You can feel free to submit it to us. Just email contact@streamyard.com, or if you're in the StreamYard community group, you can find that by just in Facebook searching StreamYard community. Maybe share it there, and we can check it out, and other users can check it out and see if they like it or not. Because yeah, I think it'd be interesting if we had like a user contributed virtual background for your coach will be able to upload your own, but the default one, in case you have it, is what I'm talking about. But yeah, in the feature, you'll be able to upload your own backgrounds.
Yeah. So that was one of the things I was asking about quite a bit last week, was green screens. And I think I mentioned I've never seen anyone actually do it in the browser. Like I've seen little tests that try to do it, but it never really works. So yeah, one of the things we're just trying right now. It's just a lot of fun for Gage and I, just trying to see if this is even possible in the browser. So it's been a
pretty good so far.
Cool thing to try.
Yeah,
it's going good so far. Yeah.
Dale from the Dale and Cat Show says, topic, can we have a way to organize the overlays to be where we want them to be? I'm not 100% sure if I'm understanding the question right, Dale, but maybe you mean like folders the same way we have banners for overlays. I know if you have a lot of overlays, it can definitely be a lot to manage. So it's something we would like to improve, like maybe potentially adding labels, or maybe on hover having a name so you can label them. So hopefully we can improve that. I don't know if I'm understanding your question right. So maybe let me know if I answered that correctly or not. Do you have any ideas for that one, Dan?
That was my thought as well. So it's either sorting in the brand tab, or potentially, I was thinking maybe you meant like customize where it is on the screen, but I guess you can sort of do that as long as the transparent part of the image is big enough.
I guess
I'm guessing it's what you're thinking. Move them around.
That might be it as well. It's like just the order of, I forgot we can't, like the same way you can drag and drop banners, maybe he means drag and drop the overlays to a different position.
That was my guess.
All right, let's see what we have here. Anita, thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year to you as well. Happy New Year, Information Man Show. Let's see what else. Ask Flipman says, I'm having trouble locating the ticker. Yeah, it's not too obvious, but when you create a new banner, if you just go to the banners section inside the studio, there's a little checkbox that says, I don't actually remember exactly what it says. Let me check. Create banner. And there's a little checkbox that says scroll across bottom parentheses ticker. And if you check that, it will turn your banner into a ticker. And I can go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'll edit my green screen to be a ticker here. So now green screens is a ticker. Nerfenstein agrees that sorting the brand tab would be nice. Got it. Ask Mike Warner says, huge fan. You've made it so much easier for me to go live everywhere. That's great to hear. We love to hear that. Hey, Ken, that's nice of you. And yeah, I watched Dan's replay. It was awesome.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. No, it's cool to be on the hosting end. I know a lot of people were suggesting that I should try it every now and then just to have the experience of like showing the comments and whatnot. And Gage and I actually sometimes, I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes I will just log into Gage's account and kind of co-host, but I just find like he's very good at it and he does it most of the time. So I just end up kind of turning into a guest anyways, even when I can control it. So I think I need to be in full control. And I don't think you've never tried the full guest experience, at least on the town hall. Obviously, in other streams you do it a lot, but
yeah, not on the town hall, but yeah, I've gone on quite a few streams.
And we did miss having you around. It is unique by yourself. It's a good perspective to have. I'd never done town hall.
You wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference, especially if you're doing like most of the talking. But even if you're doing most of the talking as the host, it is different. There's an elevated level of pressure when there's not someone to just like, oh, I'll contribute something here. And it sounds like Dale did mean sorting. So yeah, that's something we would certainly consider, Dale. I can understand why it would be nice to be able to reorder them. It's definitely something I could use at certain points. Yeah, happy New Year, Barb. I didn't see you in the chat. Maybe I missed your comment.
You might want to hide the ticker now.
Okay, I'll hide it. Jim says he'd like 1080 and the ability to run longer movies. Yes, both of those are on the list for 2020. NLTMW says, being greedy, I'd like to be able to use my own images and ideally video clips to make viewers green with envy. So you will for sure be able to use your own images. I don't know if we'll launch it with videos or not, but it's certainly possible. Doing it with Jason. We don't have a date for you right now, but it's just something we're looking at and working on. Aphrodite says, I want that apartment. Yeah, me too. It's a nice apartment.
The question is, would you use it as your background image? I think so. I would.
Yeah, I would use it. How far from green screen being a reality? I don't have an ETA, but it's looking good. I think it'll be relatively soon. Carol likes nature backgrounds. Just let Eddie create a few. Yeah, Eddie Garrison is a talented Photoshop and just graphic designer in general. So yeah, Eddie, if you have any ideas, let us know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to submissions. Hopefully there's some good ones.
Ooh, I imagine there will be some good ones. Anytime we ask for some user generated content, there's usually some very creative things we would never come up with. So it's cool stuff, exciting.
Yeah, this is a good question. What is the main lesson in 1 year of experience with SY? Are there any that immediately come to you, Dan? I might have to think about it for a second.
So would this be for us doing the town hall or just working on StreamYard? What do you think?
I guess it could be either. So maybe let's just choose one. I guess I'll say just for working on StreamYard in general. The main lesson I've learned is that hopefully a lot of people here probably have their own services and products. The main lesson I've learned is just how important it is to stay in tune with you guys and listen to you guys, and that will really bring a product far along and help it be successful. And that's why we do these town halls every week, is to listen to you and do our best to implement what you want and hear your pain points and improve our tools. So over the last year, it's been ingrained in at least me, and I think Dan as well, that is a good tactic and a good way to iterate and work on things.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's a very good one.
Information Man Show saying he'd love the green screen. Natural Curiosity says she would like an office setting. Adrian says, what's the deal wall? Maybe that's a game show or something. I'm not actually familiar. Oh yeah, there's been a couple questions about mobile hosting. That's another one that's on the list that we're interested in supporting. Hopefully not hopefully. It'll be here in 2020. But yeah, it's on the list.
It should be an exciting year. All kinds of cool stuff coming.
Yeah, I'm very excited for 2020. Hey, Caleb, thanks for joining us. I think Caleb's been here from the very, very beginning. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the town hall, Caleb.
Yeah.
Sounds like Adrian's also a fan of the poll. All right, I'll move along to our next topic and then check back to see if anyone else has any other green screen ideas or suggestions. One thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what kind of content would you like to see for 2020? I think Dan and I are going to spend more time and possibly hire some people to do more tutorials, and not just tutorials for StreamYard, but tutorials for live streaming in general, like how to be a better live streamer and how to grow your live stream and how to do different types of live streams. So be curious if there's any big questions you have around live streaming or something you really want to improve with your live streams. What would you benefit from us if, let's say, we could go out and with our own expertise and then maybe find the best expertise of people out there that are doing well with live streaming? What would you like to learn more about? What would you like to improve? It'd be helpful for us to know that, so that when we're going out and making that content, we know what is important to you. And then, oh yeah, of course, we reminded you a bit earlier, but again, if you missed it, Ross Brand is going live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Consumer Electronics Show. It should be a great show. He'll be covering the event with Rob Greenlee, so be sure to tune into that, and it'll be live on this Facebook page, so you can watch there. I also wanted to ask you guys if you had a favorite streaming memory of 2019. Was there anything that really cool happened as far as maybe one show that was super special or a milestone that you hit? Let us know. I always love hearing about people's experience with just live streaming in general, and especially if it's something positive. It's cool to hear. So let us know.
Yeah, I'd be very interested if there's like specific milestones people kind of had that felt special. Like if, when you hit, well, your first viewer or your first 10 viewers, or, you went like we've been doing, you went consistent every week for a month or 6 months or a year. Like what stood out? Do you have any you can think of for the town hall?
Ooh, the first time we had 100 live viewers was pretty cool. So when we first started the town hall, it was obviously very small, right? There's I think we did start with at least a somewhat solid base of we had 15, probably about 15 people always there, even from the very beginning. But the first time I think we hit 100 live viewers was when it was like, okay, this is cool. There's a lot of people watching this. And I think on the launch party day, we got all the way up to 200, which was pretty cool. So yeah, there's other ones that are probably more positive than that if I just thought about it. But that's one that I just remember looking at the viewer count and being like, wow, that's pretty cool that many people are tuning in. Is there any that you remember, Dan?
The ones that always stick out to me is like, you know, when the messages come in like, hey, you know, we switched to StreamYard a month ago, and you know, it's totally transformed. Like we were gonna have to quit, you know, when Hangouts left, we were gonna have to quit our show, or just, you know, we just discovered live streaming and we're having issues with the native tool, found StreamYard, and now we have this, you know, big successful show. We're using it to grow our business. I always find those really cool. Those are my favorite. It's not really a specific moment, but
yeah, that's a better one. I think I agree that one was, especially when Hangouts went away, it was really cool hearing from so many people that were just like so stoked and grateful that we were able to support them because they thought their show was going to be over. At least having an easy show where they could easily bring people in, and the fact that we were able to support them and they were just how happy they were that we were able to support them was really a cool feeling to have. So yeah, I think that trumps the viewer count one for me as well.
But I do agree the viewer count is exciting. Like hitting any kind of solid milestone like that, like even today, you know, it's 1 year, 52 episodes. Like that's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool milestone as well, for sure. And the fact that we never missed one, like there was ones where I missed and I almost made it. I should have figured out a way to show up just so I could say I made it for 1 full year. But yeah, we made most of them. I think you missed 2 and I missed 1, so it's pretty good. But it went live every week. Ken says, why can't you add Instagram Live as a destination option? We would certainly like to. The Instagram, like it's possible for us to add it. It's just Instagram has a policy against apps that aren't against third-party apps integrating with it. It's possible, but we don't want to break their policy because we want to work with Instagram, not go against their policies. So as soon as it's officially okay for apps to integrate with it, and as soon as they have a public API, we will definitely add it. But right now, it's just for whatever reason, it's not. They're sort of mobile first and want people only streaming from their own app at this point, it seems. The Gamer says, will green screen be free or do we have to pay at StreamYard? We went back and forth on this. I think, I'm not going to promise you anything. I don't know for sure what we'll do, but there's a good chance it will just be on all versions of the product, including free. Pete says, what are your thoughts on sharing your roadmap and feature request list? I like to surprise people, so we like to sort of keep you guys on your toes. So I don't think we're going to give you like too clear of a guideline of like, oh, on this date's this happening, on this date this is going to start happening, on this date this is going to start happening. But if you tune into these town halls, I mean, you can have a pretty good sense of what's important to you is important to us. So the ones that are coming up frequently, like for example, the reason we're looking at green screens is because that's mentioned all the time. So the things that are coming up all the time are certainly things we're going to look into, so you can get a pretty good sense of what the roadmap's like from that.
Yeah, we're also very adaptive. So, you know, we don't have like April 3rd, we're going to start working. Like we don't, that's just not how we develop. That's kind of like an older fashioned sort of way to develop. We're very adaptive with what we do. So if we release something, we'd be updating it a lot.
Hey, Andy, thanks for tuning in. Natural says she's interested in content regarding how to promote streams.
Cool.
MS Buffy's a fan of mobile streaming. Doctor's a fan of guests joining on mobile. That's great to hear. GSHL says, when can we expect to see more than 6 people live on panel? I don't have a date with you, but a date with you. I don't have a date for you, but that's another one that comes up all the time. So you can most likely expect it, that it's high on our roadmap. Google picks and use any pick you like for a green screen pick. Yep, that's definitely an option. All right, it's just crossing 6:30, so I'll just take one last glance at the final comments to make sure I didn't miss anything important, and then wrap things up here. Yeah, that was a bit slip of the tongue there. Chris likes the multiple panels. Aphrodite, glad to hear that you're enjoying the town halls.
Very cool.
Thank you, Gadget. Ross says he tried asking me for the roadmap. No go. Yeah. All right.
It's a lot more fun when you don't always know what's coming too.
Yeah, surprises are good. All right. I think we've covered most of them. I'll check back after to see if we missed anything critical. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. This was episode number 52 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. And we'll see you next week. And don't forget to tune in to Ross's show for CES. Thanks, everyone.
Perfect. See you next week, everyone.